Peace, and welcome to the channel. Here we deal with mental health, physical health, and environmental health. The goal for this channel is to improve every aspect of your mindset in terms of your attitude, community, and those that think like you. If you find any of those things to be interesting, go ahead and stick around. With no further ado, enjoy the video.
I'll give you an example of something that I've done. When you're manic, you create things in your head. So I created this whole scenario where, I was saying that her and her ex-girlfriend were plotting to do something to me. And I would go in and attack her physically. I even jumped on top of her car. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just one thing that I've done. And it's been worse than that at times. So I think that my mental illness has really impacted my relationships in a good way and in a not so good way.
So was it due to dosing of medication? Were you on medication during those periods, or was it not?
At that time, I had stopped taking my medication, which is not good when you don't seek a healthcare provider, someone in medication management,
right,
and you just go in and you stop taking your medication. That's not good at all.
Some of my family members, they take medication for hypertension, and when they're off of the medication, the hypertension gets worse. The episodes, would they be worse when you stop taking it?
Oh yeah, I can agree.
What are they the antidepressant or mood stabilizers?
Right now I'm on a mood stabilizer and then an antidepressant, and then I also take Benadryl because I have a hard time sleeping, and that's also for side effects.
I know that Benadryl will put you out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I took a Benadryl before I had to drive. I'm already asleep. I'm just sleepy already. And that was the worst experience in my life.
Because you be fighting your sleep trying to drive.
Fighting, kicking, scratching, screaming, all of that. You're a hairstylist, right?
Yes, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I graduated from Paul Mitchell, the school in Arlington, which I don't know if you know, it's like the Harvard of cosmetology school. So
okay.
It is good to say that I went there. I studied interior design and business management at Abilene Christian University. However, I didn't finish, but I'm still into interior design as well. And then I'm a banker for Bank of America.
Interior design and hairstyle. That's a lot of creative space.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and it all kind of goes together when you think about it. Everything in art to me is related. It's connected some kind of way, with shapes and colors and stuff like that, dimensions. Yeah. So I kind of think the two are very much similar.
If you could give a piece of advice to someone that's creatively constipated, or they just they have just a creative block, what type of advice would you give to them?
First, what you need to do is be still. Meditating is really good to kind of clear everything out. I would say do some meditation and start journaling. Mm-hmm. If you journal after meditating and you have that clear mind, you should be able to get rid of the block, I think, and start being your creative self.
Mm-hmm. So you also mentioned you hike as well. I love hiking. I just take random impulsive trips to a trail, or in Illinois, we have this place called Starved Rock. I went there a few places. A few times, and it's really nice. So when I was I was on a hike with my younger brother, and naturally, when you're moving that much, your brain is just stimulating, just start thinking a bunch of random ideas. Like, what's your experience? Like, do you have any like creative epiphanies or anything like that when you're hiking or anything like that?
Oh yeah. When I'm hiking, I take my phone
Mhm.
and I take pictures of nature. Um I don't know if you've ever read this book. It's by Deepak Chopra. It's called the Seven Spiritual Laws of Success.
Okay.
Do you know what that book?
My dad has
It's,
it on his shelf right now. I
oh really?
haven't
Okay.
picked it up
Okay.
yet though.
And it's a really small book, but I always go back and revisit it. But one of the seven laws of success is admiration of nature. Yeah, it's admiration of nature. And I love nature, and I feel like you can get so many ideas. So I take pictures. Sometimes I'll go to my notes and I'll, write a little poem or something.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, that's what I do when I'm on a nature run or hiking or something like that. I take a ton of pictures, and I also like to listen to music too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What type of music you like?
Oh my goodness, I'm a hip hop head.
Okay.
I
What's
am.
what's your top five?
My top five.
Yeah.
Okay, so number one is gonna be Jay-Z.
Okay.
Number two, I love Adele. I
Okay.
love Adele. Um, oh my gosh, Sade. I play Sade all the time. Erica Badu. Um, and she's from Dallas, Texas.
I
See,
heard.
you ain't been to Dallas, Texas. She, and every year, Erica Badu does she does something for her birthday in February,
Yeah.
but she usually does something here, like a big party or something, and where she performs.
Okay. Man,
Yeah,
that's
Erica Badu, Sade, Adele, Jay-Z. I mean, of course, I gotta put Queen Bee in there.
Texas too. Yeah. Which part of Texas is you from?
Who? Erica?
No, Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce's from Houston.
She's from Houston. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a solid list. Very
Mm-hmm.
respectable. Most
Very solid.
definitely.
Got a little jazz in there.
I love the jazz. I love saxophone.
Oh yeah.
In terms of your experiences in life, what would you say is your greatest experience in life right now?
The greatest thing that I have ever experienced in life would be getting baptized and visiting Africa. And it was Central Africa, where I rode a helicopter into one of the seventh wonders of the world, which is the Victoria Falls. Oh my. And when I saw it, like tears just ran down my face. It was the most beautiful thing that I have ever witnessed.
Did you take pictures?
Yes.
I know you took some pictures.
Yes, on the
Oh,
helicopter, crying.
most definitely.
Yeah.
So how many times have you been to Africa? Just once?
Just once. It was right before I went to cosmetology school. I wanted to visit friends out there.
Mhm.
And I stayed for like a few weeks. It wasn't long enough.
Okay.
It was not long enough.
One of the places I wanted to go next out of the country is Africa, particularly Ethiopia, because they have this really cool coffee ceremony, and I want to
I'm gonna
experience.
write that down.
Yeah, I think it involves like them roasting the coffee cherry beans, um, and then they kind of like wave it so that you can smell it, and then I guess if the guest approves of it, then they'll begin to brew it, and it's really like on the spot. And I heard Ethiopia has some of the best coffee in the world.
Oh yeah.
Then if you get it fresh, that's just amazing.
I was right near Ethiopia in Central Africa.
Mhm.
It's called Lusaka, Zambia.
Okay.
And next door where I went to the falls is Livingston Zombie or something like that. And I did a not a safari, but I did a when you get on the boat and the hippos were there. I never seen hippos before in my life. There were monkeys that you can't wear your jewelry around them because they still. Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have put my phone up the entire trip if that was me. Like, I would have just
I'm telling you, my phone stayed dead. It stayed down.
I know that's right. Shoot. So what was your baptism? How old were you when you experienced it?
I was actually 30.
30.
Yeah. I didn't get baptized until I was older. I was in Austin, Texas. My godfather baptized me at a church there in Austin, Texas. And shortly later, he passed. So that was one thing that he wanted to do before he died, and he did it.
It's to baptize you?
Yep.
That's such a blessing. I have a friend that got baptized. He made a YouTube video. His name's Chris Sumlin. He recorded his. I'm sorry.
Oh, really? I have pictures. I just gotta go look for them.
Who would you say, if you have an influence, who would you say is the greatest influence to help you?
Oh my God. Do you know who Jennifer Lewis is?
I do not.
Okay. When we end this, go search Jennifer Lewis. She has bipolar. I think she's just bipolar 1. And she embraces it. She just can't. I gotta get her book. I still haven't got her book. So she embraces it like no other. This woman is bat crazy, and she's like working it. She's an actress. She's a comedian and an actress. So look her up. Jennifer Lewis, she is on another level. You've got to go look her up when we finish.
I definitely will. I definitely want to get some insight on some of her work. And you said she's an actress.
Yes.
I kind of want to see that. I want to see how she's channeling it, you know.
Oh, find her on Instagram, and I'm gonna, you know what? You don't even have to look it up because I'm gonna send it to you after this.
Okay. Most definitely. Okay. So you mentioned having a mobile app, or it's in the works.
Yes.
You have any other goals for this year?
So actually I do. So the mobile app is one, launching the mobile app. And then I want to get to the mental health care packages. I want to get those out, sent to facilities. I have been working with some people that work within the facility, so I may be able to get that done pretty soon. I want to find a salon where I can grow as a stylist, as an artist, just thrive. I want to find somewhere where I can really be myself as a stylist and grow. And I'm also gonna go back to school and get some more hours to be an educator. So that's another one of my goals, an educator in the salon, to leave my job in banking. Is that too much to ask for, Lord Jesus?
Not at all.
To completely leave. Oh my goodness. Because it is a pain, and I want to be 100% creative.
I think that's the difference between our age range and like our grandparents' age range, because they were committed beyond belief to just, if they had to do, they'll put in 60 years. Wait, if she's on airplane mode, that's gonna ruin her connection.
You're there.
Oh.
Yes, I went to airplane mode like you told me. And I got disconnected for a second.
You know, from time to time I give some really bad advice. I didn't think about like, oh, she's probably on internet, you know.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't think about it till just now. Yeah, that was terrible. Please excuse my terrible advice giving. I try my best.
That's okay.
To young girls that may be dealing with some sort of mental health challenges, what sort of advice would you give to them?
I think the first thing is to not beat yourself up, and acceptance is huge. You have to be able to accept, if you have a mental illness, you have to be able to accept yourself. This is out of your control. So, but you can still do everything that you want to do, and you can have goals. You can do everything just like someone without a mental illness can. Another piece of advice too is to get screened as soon as possible, so you can be able to cope and manage your illness, and you can be successful.
What do you think are some of the barriers between people getting screened or just seeking out help? Period.
Mm-hmm. They're scared, or they, you know what it is, they have family members that they feel like had a mental illness, and they're like, I mean, in the Black community, come on now, I have family that are drug addicts, ex-drug addicts. I didn't find out my grandmother had a mental illness until she died. And so in the Black community, we tend to think, oh, I don't ever want to be like that person. I'm not going to the doctor so they can give me some medication. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that you're going to end up like them. Right. I think it's a huge stigma. Yeah.
That's definitely one of the things that I thought in my mind as well is probably just fear, because that inhibits us in a lot of different things. Yeah, like you have something creative or something that you just want to say. Anytime I come across any young person, I tell them, like, your voice is important, use it. Especially, it took me a while to actually start being more vocal about like just different ideas. It took years to just have confidence to just go for it. Because I'm just like, man, people don't care about this, blah blah blah. But now there's a benefit. I get to share my nerdy ideas, and then other people get to share their stories as well, because I think that's important. Like hearing other people's stories and understanding them, understanding how they think, what their experiences are, and that in turn will just increase empathy and just understanding people instead of being so judgy, thinking you know something about them and you really. I'm not sure if I'm talking your ear off too much yet. Did you want to leave any pieces of advice or tips, anything else you want to say?
Well, I mean, I guess we can end things by saying, just because you have a mental illness, it doesn't mean that you are like, of course you are different, but look at it as your superpower. Don't look at it as like you're less than anyone else, like walking on this earth. Like you can do just as much as them. You can be whoever you want to be. You can be successful. Don't limit yourself, or cancel yourself out just because you feel like your mental illness or your mental health issue hinders you from being who you truly can become. So
okay, I like that. It's very, very positive and just empowering, because I think that's really what people need. They need to feel empowered and really just be empowered, understanding who you are and that you're here for a reason.
Yeah,
most definitely. Thank you for your time, especially on today's day, Love Day, Valentine's Day, spreading love all over the world. Thank you for blessing the podcast with your words of wisdom, your experience. I'm definitely grateful for your time and for giving me some inspiration to improve my background, because I got to get it together. So I appreciate everything that you've shared with us. I'll definitely be putting your social media handles down in the description for the people to follow you and to support every initiative that you have. The Triggered Mind, at The Triggered Mind on Instagram. Please give her a follow, support her causes, and buy your stress ball. Get your brain right, get your mind right. Release that stress. You don't need it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed this so much. And happy Valentine's Day again. I hope you enjoy your day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Peace. If you've enjoyed the content thus far, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Definitely smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Help me reach my goal, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Once again, we out of here. Peace.